Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be talking about this new poll from TIPP Insight that shows Kamala Harris ahead by 4% nationwide. Now, this might not seem too shocking on the ground level because there are a lot of Harris plus 4, Harris plus 5, even a few Harris plus 6 polls following the presidential debate, which of course went very well for Harris. Gained her 10% among those who actually watched the debate, so extremely important there. She will certainly get a boost in the national average, so it's definitely not out of the ordinary, except for the fact that TIPP is an A-plus pollster. It is the best of the best when it comes to the polling industry. They, are one of the most trusted names in polling. When you rank all the pollsters, TIPP is up there. So, them having Kamala Harris ahead by 4% after the debate just goes to show how, how Kamala Harris not only gained after the debate, but how she is easily on track for victory come November, because she is basically almost matching the Biden 2020 popular vote margin. And on that note, on the note of the 2020 election, that is extremely important when it comes to talking about the accuracy of TIPP, because in the final poll, in the final stretch of polling, this is the 2020 election. On average, people forget this, but on average, Joe Biden was expected to win the popular vote, according to all the polls, by some 8.4%. He only ended up winning it by 4.5%. So they way overestimated him. They almost doubled, the polling almost doubled the margin that he would actually win the popular vote by. As you can see here, the final polls right before the debate, they were all over the place. There was Biden plus 3. He was being underestimated in this one, to Biden plus 10 from YouGov just before that. I mean, there was a wide range of polls. But the only poll, virtually, that showed Biden at 5 and 4% when you include the third-party candidates, so when you average those out, 4.5% spot on with the actual results. Look at that pollster, TIPP Insights. They got it exactly right in their final poll of 2020. This was done from October 29th through November 2nd, and again, they got it spot on. They got 5% when it was just the head-to-head, and they got 4% when you included Joe Jorgensen of the Libertarian Party and Howie Hawkins of the Green Party. This was, a poll that was probably brushed aside by many Democrats when you had a poll just before this from University of Southern California that showed Biden ahead by 11% and 12%. They were getting excited when they should have looked at the A-plus pollster there, TIPP, which got it spot on. So this is the name. Even other high-ranking pollsters were off in 2020. I mean, YouGov, for example, this is one of the best pollsters on average, but still they were way off. They had Biden plus 10, Biden plus 9. Ipsos is a very good poll. They had Biden plus 7. So, while all the other pollsters, the vast majority of them, I should say, were way overestimating Joe Biden. They way overestimated the vote that he would actually get. They once again missed many of the hidden Trump voters. Despite that, many of these polls still remain some of the best, but TIPP actually got it right, and they are still, because of that fact, one of the best. So to see them having Kamala Harris match Joe Biden's 2020 popular vote margin, of course, means that she's going to win. Hillary Clinton lost the electoral vote in 2016, right? By a very narrow margin when you look at the margins in each individual state. It was, 40,000 votes across the blue wall, and she would have won the entire election. But she did only win the popular vote by, I think it was less than 2.5%, I'm pretty sure, or somewhere around there. And Kamala Harris, getting a 1.5 better than Hillary Clinton, of course she's going to claim victory. I mean, that wasn't even a good example, because of course you're going to win the electoral vote if you have a margin of plus 4 in the popular vote, and we just have to look at 2020 for that. I mean, Joe Biden won by 4.5%. If Harris is winning by 0.4, then sure, you lose Arizona and Georgia, which would be devastating, but you're still winning the entire blue wall that's already 270, plus Nevada, plus you're looking at North Carolina, and she would it's absolutely possible that she could still win Arizona and Georgia. Those would be virtually tied when you subtract a Democratic margin of 0.4%. So again, a 0.4%, a 4% victory in the popular vote margin would almost, guarantee victory for Kamala Harris. You've got, of course, you've got the blue wall, and you're probably looking at all these all the other battleground states as well. So TIPP, they projected a Biden victory in 2020 by, it's hard to say with the third parties, but we'll say, whoops, wrong poll, not the right poll, but they projected, with the third parties, they projected 4%, so we are looking at more of a 4% victory, so they even underestimated Biden a little bit by 0.5%. So if you add that onto this poll, if you add that polling error from 2020 onto this poll, you do get a Harris victory of 4.5%. So you are, in fact, exactly matching the margin that Biden won by in 2020. Again, exactly 4.5%. So in theory, of course, logically you would say that Kamala Harris would be matching Joe Biden's 2020 map, which is 303 to 235. Not in, pretty close. It could be a lot, closer, and it could be a lot more of a landslide. But, it's an easy victory, really. Biden did have a lot of room to slack in the Electoral College. Even if there's an error, in the polling, and Harris misses out on Georgia, she still got 287. That's 17 more than she needs. Even if there's an error a little bit in the polling, and she comes up short in Arizona, she's still winning. Even if she comes up short in Nevada, she's still winning. All she needs is that blue wall, or you could even give a state like Pennsylvania to Trump, which does look extremely close in the polling, and all Harris has to do is take back one Nevada, 2 Georgia, and she wins just like that. So this, again, very important pollster. This is one of the ones where it deserves a video no matter the results. The other one that I'm waiting on to make a video about is the Ann Selzer poll from Iowa. Sorry about that. Iowa, that poll is famous because it is the most accurate poll in the nation. Now, they don't do nationwide polls. They only do Iowa. But, of course, if you have the results set in stone of a single state, which is basically what the Ann Selzer poll is. These are the results. She is a mastermind in polling. Her pollster is a mastermind. They get the results spot on every single time. Then knowing the results from one state, it does really tell you a lot about how the other states will go. And it's very similar with TIPP, and this is even more useful because it is a nationwide poll. But we are waiting on that Ann Selzer and Company poll. That will be extremely important. I'm very excited to see how that's changed. Because the last one they did, they very rarely do polls, but the last one they did was early in the year. It was from before the debate. I'm pretty sure it was in May or July or June, somewhere around there, but before the presidential debate. And I specifically remember the results. It was Trump plus 18. And that was when it was like, okay, this is not good for Biden. We now have a poll where, it's going to be right, basically spot on if the election were held tomorrow, if the election were held the next day. So that was a real concern. So it'll be extremely interesting to see where that is. I don't know when it's going to be released, though, unfortunately. So thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe down below. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, and we are so close. We only need like 400 more, so please subscribe and help me out with that, and I'll see you.